What's going on, guys? Got another re-uploaded Pokemon battle for you today, continuing the battle series with this RU team. And I want to warn you guys now that this was a real frustrating match from my end, so I hope you guys aren't bothered by any residual salt, as I tentatively hand you over to my past self.
Let's get into the match. So he's got Archeops to lead, and I don't know much about it. The only things I know are that it has a stupid ability, so I want to hit it, make sure its attack stats neutered. And I know that it packs Stealth Rock, so I'm pretty sure he would go for that, and I get a free hit off on it, which is good. So I'm just going to try and kill it, because why the hell not? And he brings in Durant to take the hit, which is fine. You know, I don't really know what it wants to do. I know that going to a physical wall makes sense, but I also know that it can pack Superpower, it can pack Crunch, Shadow Claw, you know. He's got things to hit both my physical walls, so instead of switching to one and potentially losing one, which, you know, they're going to be quite invaluable against a hyper offense team, I'm just going to go for damage and see what happens. So pretty sure Flygon could take one hit, and it does. It takes the superpower, not very well at all, but he gets one more Stealth Rock switch, and this guy is on less defense now as well, so and less attack. So while I could probably go for more damage, probably not kill it, but I could try and kill it. I could also go to Steelix, because Steelix will probably wall it a little bit better now that he's at -1 attacks. And I want to get my Stealth Rock up for this guy's team, because, you know, hyper offense, you want all the damage you can get. So he switches out into Archeops again, and I'm thinking at this point, he's got a neutered attack stat. There's not really anything he can do to me, especially considering I'm a physical wall, a physical sponge. So I just click Stealth Rock, and of course the damn thing has Taunt, so that was crap, so I could have just killed it anyway. And to make matters worse, this next turn, I was just thinking, god damn, this thing manhandled me. Friggin' Endeavor, you kidding? So, lesson learned, I need to do my research on Archeops, because apparently it's just a nightmare to deal with if you don't kill it straight away. And, you know, that's really bad, because looking at his team, I can't see any foreseeable way of me getting my rocks up, so I can't really switch it out, so I have to stay in, even though I could go to Cthagrigus for Gallade. He's got two A and G nibs, I don't know, whatever. So he kills me off. At the very least, I get a safe switch into whatever I want, and because I have Shadow Claw on Durant, and he's pretty physically frail, he's weak to that, and he's on -1 defense, I'm pretty convinced I can kill it in one hit with Durant. So I'm just going to go into that. Just go for damage, because, you know, why not? I can't really see any of the... He might be packing priority for Flygon, and he's got decent special bulk for Corviktor, so I'm going to go for that. I don't really know what he's going to do, where he's going to switch. He goes to his own Durant, so that's kind of a problem. I didn't think Shadow Claw would kill it, and it doesn't, so that's, you know, that's just what I expected. And at the very worst, it's a speed tie, because I'm pretty sure... I saw Life Orb, he's not Scarfed, so it's a speed tie, and I don't really have anywhere better to go for it, so I kind of have to stay in and risk it, which I don't want to do, but I kind of have to anyway. So if I can get a safe switch into Flygon without losing, you know, another one, then I would. But just have to stay in and risk it, and he wins the speed tie and kills me. And that was kind of a problem. This is one of the reasons it was frustrating, this match. I would have rather had Durant, because Durant was looking pretty damn good against this guy's team, and now I don't have one. At least he went down to Life Orb recoil, but it's kind of a bother. So double down, don't really know where to go, and I figured that Corviktor's bulky. It can take one hit from whatever he brings in, and it can go for a huge hit to finish off basically anything at this point, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not Gallade, but everything else I've got to move to kill it in one. So Flygon's the thing that comes in, which I was actually quite happy with at the time, because when Flygon goes down, which it will to an Ice Beam, this is a really powerful Ice Beam going for it, I figured that my Flygon will now be perfectly okay going for EQs. So, because obviously he doesn't have a levitator anymore, so that's good. And same principle with Steelix. It's not, the Corviktor isn't faster than anything, so there's no point salvaging it. So I let him kill me, and this is where the match basically becomes a huge strategic switch fest. I don't know. This made me really, really think about it, but Glalie not really got much to do against me. I could Will-O-Wisp, but I feel like that's predictable, and because he's got Houndoom and Flashfire, I'm probably going to want to put Toxic on, even if he doesn't switch. Toxic's still going to be good on this thing for residual damage. And this is the hugest move of the game, by the way. I miss. And that sucks. That really sucks. I mean, on top of the fact I lost the speed tie, I now miss Toxic. And this is going to be huge later. Absolutely huge. He can have the speed tie. if I get that toxic hit and I don't. So that sucks. So I have to switch because Dark Pulse is coming, or any special hit for that matter would wreck Cophagragus. So go into Aromatisse. Thankfully, I can sponge that hit very, very convincingly. And I don't really know what he's going to do. I feel like I don't need to wish right now, even though it would be kind of cool. Because I could probably heal up Flygon or, anyone. I don't know. But I'm just going to go for damage because I'm pretty sure he'll switch. And he does. And he goes to Glalie. And that does a decent chunk. Not. I'd rather it do a little bit more and be a 2-hit KO. But, beggars can't be choosers. So, I obviously have to switch because Cophagragus is actually a fantastic Mega Glalie counter because if he hits me with what is an Ice-type move, he hits me, he loses his ability to Mummy, and that means that his Double Edge and Explosion become normal-type moves again, so he actually can't really do anything once he gets this first hit. So it does a lot of damage, but now he can't use it. He's basically stuck on what can it run? EQ is it? And Freeze Dry? I don't know any of those moves. So yeah, I'm free to go for a Pain Split here is kind of the point. I mean, I probably could have Toxic, but I didn't know if he wanted to stay in, and I would have rather Pain Splitted then. So Houndoom comes in, gets Pain Splitted, and let's keep in mind, by the way, that if Toxic had been on this thing, it would have been 24% HP worse off at this point. Just keep that in mind, alright? So, right, so I have to switch. It's pretty obvious. I'm not going to stay in. I mean, if I wanted to stay in to predict a switch, I could, but feel like he doesn't need to at this point because Cophagragus is beating 2 of his guys, and I'm pretty sure he'd rather have it gone than just trying to, play around, predict, and all that sort of stuff. So I could go to Aromatisse, but like I said, I'm sort of worried he might be predicting a switch. And I'm basically, at this point, I'm weighing up in my head, can I switch into Flygon and just fodder it off? Do I really need it? He's going to have Ice Shard on that Mega Glalie, so it's probably not going to be that useful. It might get 1 kill if I can bring it in on the right switch. I don't actually know. So, I'm just weighing it up at this point. I eventually decide that Flygon is probably the correct switch to go for. And so I do, and he kills it, and that's fine. And now I've got a free switch into Aromatisse to just do whatever. Let's also keep in mind that now Flygon should be at about 36% health worse off. Still, keep that in mind. So, don't know what this guy wants to do. I'm just going to wish, because if he stays in, I'm going to want to use it for recovery. And if he switches, I can just go to Cophagragus and get back, that delicious HP. So, he does stay in. He goes for the hit, and that's fine, because that means that I can now, I can obviously get some damage off on whatever he wanted to do after my wish goes off, because I knew it'd be fine against this thing anyway. So, yep, I'm just going to keep going for wishes, because anytime he might switch, and if he goes to either Glalie or Gallade, I'm gonna want to get a wish off for Cophagragus because it's not at the best amount of HP at this point, and it would definitely get back a lot of HP from Aromatisse because his HP isn't very good. Like, it's his physical defense that makes it as good a wall as it is. So, that's that. Also, I'm pretty sure I can't take a hit from this thing, and like I said, Cophagragus is a good Mega Glalie counter, so that's definitely where I'm gonna go. And there goes the Double Edge, there goes his Refrigerate, and while I didn't take that as well as I would have liked, I get the Wish off, so that's awesome, and he basically can't touch me because his best thing I think would be Freeze Dry, and I'm pretty sure they don't invest in Special Attack because they'll want the speed and the physical attacks, so I think Freeze Dry is literally there for things like, I don't know, Seismitoad or Gastrodon or whatever. So, don't know what he wants to do. So I just went for damage because I want to hit something on the switch if he wants to switch, but he just explodes, which I don't know if he wanted to. I don't know if he actually wanted to damage me, and just forgot his Refrigerate was gone, so it wouldn't do anything, or if he just wanted a safe switch. I don't know. All I know is Cophagragus is sitting really, really good. I have counters for both of his last sweepers because obviously I can damage this thing with super effective. I can burn it. And Houndoom, I can just switch to Aromatisse and, beat it. So, he goes for Swords Dance, so I knew that I was definitely wanting this thing burned. But, crap, he has Lum. That really sucks. Because now I'm just relying on Cophagragus' bulk to take a hit, because Gallade's pretty powerful. He goes for Knockoff. I was absolutely terrified when I saw that, but luckily I take it. I'm praying that this Will-O-Wisp hits, because I need it burned for Aromatisse to deal with it, and thankfully it hits twice in a row. That would have been game if it didn't, so... so, no point salvaging this thing. Just gonna let it go. Aromatisse basically has to take a physical hit. I do invest a little bit in physical. I think I put it up to like 190 physical defense, which I don't know if that's the standard to do. I have no idea. All I know is I have to take this hit or I just cannot win from there. So, could have wished. I think I did actually click wish originally, thinking that, well, I might be able to take a hit and then, I might be able to take a hit and then get all my health back and then put up another wish and then kill it as I get my wish. But, I mean, it does way too much, so I'm really glad I didn't. On top of that, if he wanted to predict any protects or wishes, he could have gone for more swords dances, so I knew I wanted to kill it straight, like, as fast as I could. And so, yeah, it looks like I should be able to win if I just protect so I can take a flamethrower. But, oh, crap, he has overheat. You're kidding. So that was, oh, god, I don't know, you kept that one in the bottom drawer for the entire battle, and now I'm pretty sure I've lost. I mean, my only hope here is to get a double protect, and I might be able to take a hit. I was looking at how much damage his flamethrower did, and I think it did about 30%, maybe a little bit more. So overheat's going to do a little bit less than 1.5 times that amount. So if I get the double protect, I might be able to live it. Probably not, but I've got to go for it. I've got to try it. And also, the reason I was counting up all the toxic damage it should have on it, by the way, is because this thing should just be dead by now. And if it wasn't dead before, it would have been dead by now. But I go for the protect, I don't get it, but he misses! Yes! Oh, after that toxic miss, I've been redeemed. The toxic miss, what? It's not there anymore. Because they're both 10% chances to miss. And, oh, that made me feel so good. So I should pull this one out. Just in the nick of time. That was some crucial hacks on my side. I mean, it was balanced out in the end, but it doesn't matter because he's just going to crit me anyway. So, in the end, it doesn't matter because you could just get an overheat crit and just win anyway.
So after some reflection on this match, I've realised the point at which I foddered off Flygon in pursuit of a Cophagragus Aromatisse endgame, it would have been better for me to go hard Aromatisse and pursue an endgame of Cophagragus wearing down either Gallade or Glalie, and then going for a Flygon sweep to finish it off, keeping Aromatisse in the back to deal with Houndoom if necessary, which makes the reasonable assumption that Glalie and Gallade don't have any priority based on their sets, and would have made for a much more risk-free endgame, though I can't be too mad at myself because I didn't realise that Houndoom packed overheat. And irritatingly, the guy tried to profess that his overheat crit was justified because of the miss, despite the fact that crits are harder to get than a miss, and also forgetting that I missed a toxic earlier, which would have won me the game on the very spot. So, really frustrating game, but I hope you guys enjoyed the uphill struggle anyway, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Take care.